Today's session is again one of the sections of Canva. Okay. And what I would be doing is I would be sharing information from my slide deck because it needs a little bit of understanding, and as far as understanding in the sense that when we conduct any activity or we take up any activity, we should also know as to why it is required and its importance. Especially in this case, because we are talking about a brand kit. Okay. And, a brand kit is very, very essential for any business. In an unstructured, I would call it in an unstructured business, or, when information is less or we are not aware, we start a business, we make it grow, and then once we have reached a certain size, we start thinking of making it better, and that's when we start thinking of a logo or a color or this or that. Well, to begin with, if we are going to design things, why not do it right from the very beginning? And that is what all this session is all about. So it will be more of talking, I would say, and of course there will be a demo. I will be, showing you from where we can access those features. But before that, I just going into, explaining as to what is a brand kit, okay, and its importance, the elements that are there. We will be exploring all that, and I will be sharing information from my slide deck, from a slide deck. So just give me a moment while I get to my tab. It takes a little bit of time to select the right tab, and then go into Zoom, and here we go in the share screen mode. Yes. So this is the name of the title of the session, as Canva, branding for business. Okay. Now, business, we all know, business is something which is a commercial, from which we expect to make money. Okay. So, and business is not something that we start for a day. We are looking at it from a long-term perspective. So, and where does branding come in, and what is it? That is something that we will be discussing. The objectives of this session is, importance of branding. What is the importance of branding? The key elements of brand, and using the brand kit in Canva. Unfortunately, this brand kit, the basic section is of course free, but post that we need to pay. The subscription element includes this. Besides this, like I said, if there are any questions from yesterday's session, you can always ask me by putting them in the chat, or just briefly unmuting yourself and asking me those questions. Moving ahead, just wanted to know a quick question, because then only will this session help you. Do you wish to know more about a brand kit? Yes or a no would answer would suffice. That answer would suffice. And even if you say no, I will still continue, because that is the topic of the session. Okay. So moving ahead, what is a brand kit? The first thing we need to know, as to what is a brand kit. Now, a brand kit is a short, easy guide to a brand's vision. Okay. Now, here, of course, I would be taking some examples also. Okay. For example, when we look at, say, automobile sector. Okay, let's take automobile sector. There are many companies which are there in the automobile sector. The largest, in the Indian context, the largest is, say, Maruti Suzuki. Okay. As soon as you see the M symbol, you know that it is a Maruti. Okay. Now, that is called as a brand recall. Or if we look at it on a global scale, okay, say Coca-Cola. irrespective whichever country we are, whichever part of the globe we are in, whichever language we speak, whichever time zone we are, Coca-Cola is written the same way. Okay. So, and as soon as we see that, as soon as we see Coca-Cola, we visualize that, it's a soft drink. It's that bottle, it has that fizz, and it's a soft drink, number one. Now, the second part that I have written here, it's an identity and distinguish. It distinguishes your business entity from competitors in the industry. Okay. Now, looking at, say, vehicles, I just said Tata. Tata has a different logo. Okay. And very similar to that, something similar, but not exactly the same, is Mahindra. Mahindra is also an auto manufacturer. They have logos there. But when we see a Tata logo, we know that this vehicle is from a Tata. Similarly, when we look at, say, Coca-Cola, and by its side, we see Pepsi. These are two different logos. The identity is absolutely different. Die-hard fans of Pepsi would not switch over to Coke, and those who have Coke will not switch over to Pepsi. There are certain things. I mean, especially as far as the identity is concerned, there have been brands which, their name has taken over the generic product as it is. Okay. Not sure how many of us are driving since a young age. Okay. Because when I was a child, not a child, when I learned how to drive, say about 40 years back, at that time, engine oil, okay, the engine lubricant oil, it was referred to as mobile oil. Okay. Nobody would call it, engine oil. Now, mobile is a brand. Okay. It is a brand of an automobile lubricant. Similarly, I think most of our Indian seniors would, agree with the fact that we used to call vegetable oil as dalda. Okay. Now, dalda was a brand name. It was not, it was not that oil, or rather the edible oil. It was a brand name. So that is the effect that, brands have. As soon as you talk about it, now, for example, Geeta ji comes up with some fantastic brand of cakes. She just mentions, on the session, instead of her screen name, there is say that brand name, and we would simply recall that it is a food channel. It's a food item. That is what it is. That is what is called as a brand. And how do we identify ourselves, or what all goes into a brand kit is something that we will be discussing. Now, what it does is, it's a quick reference. A brand kit is a quick reference to understanding the logos, colors, fonts, and messaging. Any logo that we create, it is not just an artistic impression of, or rather the creativity that just creates a logo. There is a thought behind it. There is a thought behind the creation. So the thought, the colors, okay. Any kind of a color that we use, I'm sure at some stage or the other, we all have read about color psychology also. I mean, colors play a very big part as far as, the visual recall is concerned. Similarly, fonts. I remember, when I was working for one of the Swiss multinationals, they had their own font. They created their own font. The uniqueness was that it was unique, but at the same time, the challenge was that outside of the organization, if we had to print something, we could not print it. Unless we had that, we had that font on our systems. So this is all these elements, they create, or rather they create that total impact, for a brand. At the same time, it helps to tell the brand's story. I mean, not going very far, but looking at from the point of view of our organization, you see our logo. Okay, this logo represents book or knowledge. You see it from any direction; it's an open book. Whether you see it, vertically, whether you see it in any way, it's an open book. Knowledge to be shared. There's a lot, that I can go on about that, but then that's what a logo is. I mean, a logo has a story behind it, and that story should be defined right at the base itself, rather than rather than when we've grown to a size and then we start creating the story. No, we create it right from the very beginning. And then, whether it is employees, whether it is workers, partners, any channel operators, they all follow that story. This brand kit is generally distributed to employees, key partners, or public, and for all customers and the press, because that is what again, like I said, it is the thought, it is the entire thought behind the business. And these things, again, when talking of business, of course, at an organized level, they also complement, whether about the objectives as well as, the goals of the business itself. That is going, a little bit further into it. Now, the purpose of a brand, what is the purpose? It ensures that the brand image and message don't become diluted or misrepresented with time. Right? Now here, this is something which is which over a period of time, even you will see a lot of organizations, they change their logos. Okay. But even when they change their logos, just let me tell you, like for example, in the Indian context, we had a very, it was very clear, one of the largest cell phone operators, Airtel, they changed their logo. Initially it was something else, but then it became what is currently there. But then it has, the explanation or the story behind still remains the same. I mean, behind that logo, it still remains the same. So that's why they say that this image and message, irrespective of passage of time, it should remain the same. Besides that, all marketing and communication, okay, are accurate and on brand. Look at any of these stores, okay, or any of the takeaways, or any of the franchisee operations, be it a Haldiram, be it a McDonald's, be it any, name it, if it's a franchisee operation, you would find that they have the logo, everything is there according to the parent company guidelines. Okay. The logo, the internal setup, besides what is there at the back end for processing, whatever is visual, whatever is visual it corresponds to the parent company's guidelines. This branding is used all across, whether it is in social media, whether it is sales associates, or any of those channel partners, any of the what we call them as the e-commerce platforms, or anything of that sort. Customer advocates. Now, customer advocates is something which could be varied. Okay. And there are, various ways, like you find some of these corporate gifts, in which they give out t-shirts or any kind of an apparel or an accessory. Right? Now, they're trying to win over the customer, and that customer is the advocate of the organization. But still, the branding would remain the same, as well as physical assets. If we have an outlet, everything, conforms to the branding, that has been created. Now, moving over, how to build a brand kit, or rather the essentials of a brand kit. There are a few core elements, and I'm just going into the core. I'm not going into too much of detail. We could go on and on this, but then I'm just going into the few core which are essential for to begin with. Looking at first and foremost logo. Okay. And a logo is very essential. I would suggest, that create a logo. Take your time, do the designing, think of a story. I mean, we don't have to think of a story. We started a business because of something. I mean, it's not that we just got up one morning and we started a business. Think of, certain things there, because that will help, in designing the logo. When we design a logo, keeping in mind that we have to give an explanation for this logo, we would definitely think. And once we think, then, the details get better. This is an opportunity. What the logo does, it's an opportunity to convey the brand's story in one small square or icon. We don't have to write, Nita's art gallery. We don't have to write so much. Just a small logo, done. The brand recall is very strong there. Okay. Now, take for example, if we are looking at that, say McDonald's. Okay. We just need to see that M, that yellow M there. From miles away, once we see it, we know that there is a McDonald's there. Now that is what the effect of a logo there. Okay. Or very common in India, if we find, the gas stations, they have petrol pumps. They have a high mast there, and, as soon as we see HP or Indian Oil, we know that there is a petrol pump there. It is very important to ensure that the logo is consistent across all platforms and assets. Okay. Especially when designing a logo. Okay. Especially when designing a logo, keep in mind the background on which it is being printed. Okay. We might have, a dark color and, something to be printed on a dark color. This I'm going slightly more into the deep, into the finer points, but not, this thing, it should be kept in mind. If it is printed on other colors, what should be the colors of that? Okay. So, and the consistency is very, very essential. Okay. When we say consistency, I mean, those of us, of course, I'm talking big, of large businesses, but then they are the ones which come in mind very quickly. If you see any change of logo, okay, in any organization, if they have changed the logo, they will change it across everywhere, whether it is their dealer, whether it is their website, whether it is their stationery, whether it is social media, uniform, anything, you name it and they change it. It's not that we change it at one place and, let it be there in the other places there. So it is consistent across platforms and assets. Okay. Assets again here represents anything which is physical. Okay. Anything which is physical there, be it an office or be it a store or anything of that sort. The second element that is there is the color palette. Very essential. Okay. Especially when we are looking at visuals. Okay. Visuals meaning any kind of stationery, any kind of print, any kind of electronic, content that we are creating. The color palette needs to be consistent. And what it does is it sets a visual tone and language for the brand. Like I said, psychology plays a great role. Color psychology plays a great role in customer, in attracting as well as retaining, customers. So this color palette is very, very essential. And it's not just it's not just important to decide on the colors, okay, but we have the advantage these days to know which specific shades to use. Okay, it's not a green. Okay, let me put it in another way. It's not just green, or it's not just red. Green and red, I mean, they are made of, what we sometimes I refer to that as RGB or CYMK. There are certain ratios which make that color. Okay. So the shades to use, we have to go into those kind of details also when choosing rather finalizing the color palette. Okay. Besides that, the last element that is there is typography. Okay. Typography literally is a font. We call that as a signature font. And these fonts, they can be chosen from ready-made, from the existing fonts that are there. And besides that, we can create something of our own also. Yes, when we create our own fonts, what needs to be done is we need to share it also. We need to ensure its protection, its usage across all by all the people with whom we, who are going to be using our brand there. Okay. Any questions there? I have just been talking. Any questions on what I have shared so far?
My big question is only how am I going to go ahead with my mobile?
No problem. Don't worry. We will be doing that also. A very warm welcome, Archana ji. Good to see you after a very long time on the session. Okay, great. Okay. So with that, what I will be doing to begin with, I will be sharing a screen from a system, and then post that I'll just take you through from where you get into the brand kit element, okay, and how do we use those features, and also from our cell phone also. But I always, as I say, please try and get hold of a bigger screen. We are doing something serious, and well, I have a what you call it, disadvantage because of my, large hands. But here, Canva, just give me a moment while I get in there and log in. Google. Yes. Yeah. Again, I'm sorry. This is the desktop, screen there, and what you are seeing is, the Canva, the software there. Okay. The when we go over on the left-hand side, okay, on the left-hand side where a Canva is written, and by the side of that is the, the menu. Below that is the menu. We scroll down, and when we scroll down, we get into the element of brand kit. This is a paid feature. Mind you, this is a paid feature. So if you wish to use it, you would have to subscribe to that. Okay. But don't be in a hurry to subscribe. You can go through, I will send you links, okay, in the notes. First, go through those notes, and if you feel that you need to use it, then only subscribe for it. Okay. Now, when we click on the brand kit, okay, when I click on the brand kit, okay, this is what it says. It says Untitled Brand Kit, and I can name it. Okay. I just I just click on the cursor, the thing there. It is all editable, and I write here, say, smart skills. Okay, and I can start from here itself. Okay. One of the things that within this, okay, there are various elements that are there. First and foremost, brand colors. If we are looking at, if we have already created a brand kit from somewhere else, we can add the brand kit. If I click on this, I can add the brand kit. Okay, and we can, we can upload it on this platform. Okay. Besides that, if we have not any kind of brand colors that are there, if we want to select, we click on that, and from here, we go into the color palette. Okay. When we click on color palette, this whole thing, it comes up, and as we move our cursor, okay, both on the top, if you see the numbers here changing. Now, this is what is called as, the shades, the reference. If we give this number, say hashtag 5AB863, irrespective of any machine, they would, it would come up with this color there. Okay. So, if we want that, if I want this color, I just, if I want another one, I just add, keep on adding. Okay. I just keep on adding here as many colors that I want, which I wish that should be there in my color palette there. Okay. And let me tell you, I will also share with you resources that are there in Canva, which helps you to create, the color palette on your own also. So this was, on the color palettes, just adding color palettes here. Second, is if you are printing any kind of stationery there. Okay. Heading styles. What is the heading style that we wish to use? Okay. The font. If I choose, there are a host of, again, all those fonts will come up here. Right? If I want, something bold, I will just choose something bold from here. And, now this is, again, I go into the size. I want a smaller size. Okay. Go down and let me choose a smaller style, a smaller size than this. Okay. I choose a smaller size. Okay. If you want it, again, if I wish to upload fonts, I can upload fonts from here, from the branded fonts by the side of that. If I have created a font, just click on this, it will take me to my system, and from here, I can, upload a font. I don't have something here, but that's from where we create. Any kind of subheading, any kind of a text that we are creating. If there's a subheading, we add the subheading style also. Any kind of font that we wish to choose, I want something lighter than that. I go on to say, so, okay. And it comes over, and the font size is slightly, let me make it more small. Now, whatever I print, now this is my brand kit. When I start creating something, I can import these colors or these fonts here. I add a body style, and from here also I choose a smaller font. I wish to use, say, Arial. Arial is, and it takes that font there. Now my palette is there. My font size is there. Okay. Yesterday, okay. Besides that, whatever I create from there, I can import the material and keep it in this area. Okay. Now, if I go into, creating a design from here at the top, and let me go into, say a logo. And while going into a logo, if I were to, there are these templates that are there. We can use them directly. And let me see if there is anything to do with the technology logos. And I find something here which is more to the technology effect. It gives me something to look for. Say if this is one, I just click on this, and it comes up here. Okay. I don't want to use the cube. I will just write here. Just creating something for and done. Okay, I have created my logo. Let me try and add something to this. Okay. Yeah, this seems a bit better. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
you are update for Canva Pro.
Yes, I am on Canva Pro.
Okay.
No, Neetaji, there are no copyright issues because this is within these templates are free to use. Okay, so there is no copyright issue here. Okay. And I've done this, and let's go back. Okay, now from here, like yesterday, if we had shared, there were people who were asking me that where do we, if we have to download something or print something from our system. So when I go into the share option, from the share option, I can download. Okay, and I can download it directly. Okay. Once I click on download, it gives me the option. Okay. And now since this is a logo, it will suggest me the PNG format. PNG means it's an image. The pixels for a logo, the pixels we can manage from here. Okay. And besides this, if we want to download it in other formats also, we can download it. Okay. Let me just hit the it will download, and yeah, it has downloaded my logo which I created. Okay. And just opening it, I hope can you see the newly opened this thing, a logo page that has opened up, or you still watching the Canva this thing? Just allow me to. Yeah, now this is something that I had created. Okay, now this is a JPG image. Okay, and I downloaded it. I can use it, at anywhere that I wish to. Okay. So besides that, when coming back to Canva, okay, coming back to Canva, I can also, this very page, I can, I can also share it. Okay, just sorry, I didn't go into screen share. This again from the share section. If there are individuals, okay, if there are individuals who to whom, like I had shared yesterday, that this is a cloud service. So if I want, I can share it with the other people also. Okay, from the share section, there is a drop down. If it's public, I can do it with anyone with the link, or only people added can have access. I can add the people. Okay. I only people with added can have access. Okay. Add people or groups, and from here I add those people. Okay. For example, SMA, or T, SBI, S, 01 at the rate gmail.com. Okay, and I send them a message, logo create, invite, send. Yeah, they they have sent the mail there, and when the individual sees, they can access this image also. Okay, this and they can work on this image also. Now from here I will log in from my cell phone. Okay, and questions, if any, they can keep on coming. I will read them out and answer them. Because yesterday also I did not do the demo from the cell phone. I will just, yeah. And now Canva, as you see, the application is there on the left hand side. Okay, the first one in the first row. I tap on Canva, it opens up, and from here, it takes a little bit of a time. Yes. Okay. Again, one of the things, whether we work on the, not to be dissuaded, since this account is on, is the same. I use Google, and I use the same account for all the applications. If you saw now this recent designs, this was something that I created on the desktop, but when I open my phone, it is here also. Okay. So not to be dissuaded, whether we are using the phone, whether we are creating something here, we can access it from the desktop, from the same account. Okay. Please ensure that the account is the same. Okay. And anything that we worked on, whatever we had done yesterday, it was all there. On this, now we are going to be navigating the Canva application. Whatever was there at the top, those navigation tabs, they're all here. Where you see presentation, prints, marketing, office, and more. Same thing was there in the phone also, in the desktop also. In order to go into, in order to create logos and the flyers and so on and so forth, more for business. For business, we are looking at two sections. One is the marketing. When I tap on marketing, it gives me these options: poster, logo, flyer, sorry about that, okay. Logo, flyer, business card, label. Now these are all, marketing things that we kind of use. Okay. Besides that, there are there are posters. There are all these templates are there to help us create something. And once we tap open anything, now, for example, in logos, there is a logo, see all. Let's tap on see all. Uh, two sections there. One is templates and one is something if I create, your designs, it would appear here. Okay. Not appearing, it should appear. That shouldn't be a problem. The search option is there, and from the search option, okay, as we place our cursor there, we can search for logos. Okay. If there are, because it has templates. So, for example, if I search there, TACHING. If I search there, teaching, it will give me some of the templates which are there, and otherwise I can just go into into templates and start creating something directly there. Let's go on to technology and see what they have. They have a lot of material as far as technology is concerned. So we use the top option, the search engine, to search. This search engine is only within Canva. It's not away from Canva. Besides that, the menu that we have, is at the bottom. This is the home page. With the projects, if we have created any project, and if we have purchased, like for example, I just in this logo, in this session, we created smart skills. It is up there in the projects section. Okay. Yesterday, whatever we did, it is also there. If I have purchased something, that too will come up in the purchased section. I haven't purchased anything, so there is nothing there. Any option that anything that we star in the sense that, just like in Drive, we star something, it becomes like a bookmark. So if we star something, it will appear over here. Okay. Then after that is uploads. If we are using any kind of a picture, like for the flyer section, I had uploaded the, the dog JPG. You'll find all the uploaded pictures here. These are not templates. This is something that the user has uploaded. And after that, of course, these are some of the designs and so on and so forth. Next is, Canva Pro. I am already a member of Canva Pro. By the side of that is the menu. This is my account. This is my account. Any kind of projects that are there, they are here. They are here. If I have created a project, or if anyone has shared with me, they can come up. They will come up here. The brand kit. The brand kit is in the menu, and we see in the tools the brand kit. If I tap on brand kit, you'll see all that I did there in the what you call it, in this from the system. They, like all these colors and all, they will appear. Brand logos, if I want, I just tap on that, and whatever is there in my, if there is a file there. Now, for example, okay, Neetaji, you're still there, so I just wanted to share with you. I paint using technology, okay, and see my paintings. I'll just share with you. Now, this is what I paint using technology.
Beautiful.
Very nice, sir.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in my free time, I do all this kind of stuff. Okay.
So this is only on the Pro, right, sir?
Yeah, brand kit is only on Pro.
Yeah.
Let me go on to downloads. Okay. Sorry, it won't be here.
What's the annual subscription, Raju sir, for Pro?
Pro is on a monthly basis. It's about 500 odd bucks that is there. Okay.
Okay, not too expensive.
No, one of the things is, one of the things is that if you are if you are set, and you take this for a month or so, within a month you can finish everything. That much I am pretty sure. And at least get the initials ready, and then you can give it some time. One of the things about the application is that it's not that if you have subscribed on a monthly basis, then you have to subscribe all the time. You give it a break, and after that, whenever you want it, you can subscribe it again. But the minimum duration will be for a month. So try. I mean, one of the things is, of course, I will be sharing now in this within the notes of this also. I'll be sharing resources that Canva offers. There are various resources which Canva offers also. See whether they help you or not, because it is those resources are based on the kind of templates and the internal structure that is there within the application. Okay. So if it suits your purpose, then go into the subscription models. Otherwise, not really advised until and unless we get a little, make some money, थोड़ा सा पैसा बनाए, फिर उसके बाद खर्चा करें छोटे. Geeta ji, you are listening with the great intent. Any questions from you? You are very serious today.
Sir, I've been watching.
Okay.
I've been trying to do it simultaneously, actually. So.
Okay. Yes. Any questions there before we go into something else? Yes, Vedi.
So when you created that, that smart skills.
Yes.
Within that also, if I want to write something, I can write.
Yes, you can. Everything is editable. You just one of the things is that within when you work on this on Canva, there are just two things. One is drag and drop. Click somewhere and it will come up on the main page. That is more or less a drag and drop. And the second is when it comes on the page, just tap on that. You'll be using it. Yeah, it will move over into the edit mode. Okay. If you are editing text, okay, if you are editing text, then in the navigation tab, if you see, there will be a typewriter kind of a thing, a keyboard kind of a thing, and it will be written edit. Tap on that, and you can then change that text. Once you've written the text, you will get the option of changing the font as well as the size of the font as well as its color and so on and so forth.
I have created an account in Instagram. With my son's help. He used only Canva. He used Canva, and then he has created account. I have created now. What it says that when you are sending the first images, that should be something related to your business.
Yes.
So whatever, because there is a business account, so first related. So first find one feed and find one story for it. Then you go ahead. So let the account be there. You cannot write anything else apart from that. So whatever you have given in your this thing account related to that, you can go ahead. So I'm waiting for my one picture I have to take, and then I have to go ahead with that. So from gallery also I can pick and then drop, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can upload. Wherever there is an option of upload, tap on upload and you can then pick it up from the gallery.
I would like to go in a sequence. I don't want to just drop one bigger this thing there. That is final product. I don't want to drop. I want to go a little bit, even if it is slow, doesn't matter. But I want to go it in a sequence manner. So I'm jotting out and then doing it.
Good. That's the way you should do it. That's the way you should do it.
Thank you. Thank you. But
So
there is
wonderful today.
So there is an option of add comment.
Ah,
So that comment will not come on the logo which you are making.
no, and that is for sharing because you
That
can
is just for
collaborate.
sharing. Okay, and to
Yes.
add something to that,
Yes.
whatever you have made.
Yes.
Sir, when you take Canva from your app store,
Yes.
so that you have to pay for it, because it's an in-app purchase. So that becomes pro, or what is it?
No. In-app purchases means that one of the basic version. Okay, the basic version of Canva, you don't have to pay. In-app purchases means that within the when you function on the app, there will be certain advertisements which will come, just like in YouTube. Okay, the YouTube non-paid. Don't as long as you don't click on those ads and you got to wait for them to subside, to go away, and then you start working, you work again. So that is not that is the basic version. Okay, but when we go over into the paid version, then those ads and all finish off.
Okay.
In-app purchases doesn't mean that you have to pay for the app.
No.
Okay.
But in-app purchases, you don't click on any of the advertisements that are there. I'm just giving you a few tips. When an advertisement plays, okay, it will be there for either 5, 10, or 15 seconds. Okay, maximum 30 seconds. So what will happen during that time is that either there will be a time bar towards the end,
Yes.
a line goes, and then finally when the advertisement ends at the top, there will be a cross. There will be a cross. Hit the cross for it to go away. Okay. That's why.
So what happens if we click on the ad? Then we pay for something.
No, you don't pay for it until and unless you reach the payment stage. But
Okay.
but what happens is that it will take you away from the app. Another window will open up, and till that time
You digress.
That's
You
right.
just digress.
That's right. Yes, if you want to pay for something and get it delivered to my
No,
address,
that is. So send your address, I'll deliver it.
Okay, so wow, it's 2 minutes up. I have kind of taken more time than I should have, but still, we
Very
still have.
informative.
Achal. Thank you, Archana ji. Thank you very much.
I have used it, but there were certain problems I used to get. Now you have cleared it.
Okay, thank you, Archana ji. We still have one more session on Canva. So questions, if any, from both the sessions, you can, we can clear in that. And besides that, on the 10th, of course, I have my office hours.
I want one thing more. You have a please take a session that how we can set up the background and via on laptop I know, but on iPad or phone how can we set up this backgrounds?
Okay, I will let you know, Archana ji. I will let you.
My laptop, old one is working. The new one is asking 70,000 expenditure, so I will buy it. So I'm using now iPad. So in that iPad, because it's certain programs which I take as an ambassador, so we want the background. So I am not able to make it. So I would like to learn, and even others can also learn how they can change the background.
Yeah, virtual background in mobile we can do, sir.
Yes, certain
Can I have a
models.
wall?
Certain models, not all cell phones. Archana ji, if you can put the what you call it, your iPad model in the chat. Yeah.
Just wait. I am bringing and I will let you know.
Okay. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for your message.